We've only had like about 3 dudes attempt the backgrounds, but I like that you've gone with this. This is decent.
This is just my apartment. This is what it is.
Hey guys, James Wilson-Taylor here for Rock Sound. It's another of our video calls. We are catching up with everybody at home at the minute and back for a repeat visit. It's none other than Mr. Awsten Knight. How are you, man?
So good. Like I was just telling you, just finished checking out some oh my god, some liners for like, you know, things where I'm like, you're listening to Spotify and it's awesome. I did those. I just approved a new bio.
Oh really? What's that going to say? Any hints? Any little clues as to what you're going to throw in there?
Waterparks is taking shit to the next level. I'm like, duh. Always.
I feel like that's been your mantra for a long time. Yeah.
Here's the thing. Next bio, I'm gonna be like, they're leveling down, taking a step back even.
always got to twist the expectations, man. Always got to mix them up. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Well, it's good to see you again, man. Last time we chatted was kind of right at the top of quarantine. I mean, not a huge amount has changed. We're all still in very similar positions, obviously. But I remember, you know,
I had some cool glasses on during that.
You did have some good glasses, that's true. And you gave us a little impromptu performance on the guitar and stuff. It was a lovely fun time. Actually, you said you were going to do what your plans for quarantine were, a load of puzzles. How have those gone?
I took them apart. Hang on.
Okay.
Stay right here.
I'll be here. Man. You know, that picture was cute when he was in front of it, but I'm really disturbed now.
I'm looking for those yellow glasses so we can, like, keep with tradition.
I like that. Keeping it on brand, always.
Tradition? If we don't have tradition, we're fucking savages. Hold on.
It's very true. It's what the world's built around, man. Sorry,
I can't find them. This is dog shit.
It's all right. It's all right. I'll Photoshop them in for like 3 seconds. We'll just get you to pose. There we go.
Still look forward.
Perfect. It looked great. It looked great. It looked absolutely perfect. Man, it's nice to be able to catch up with you now because, like, I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting you guys to drop new music like this kind of this soon. I know you've like taken some time at home and kind of taking some time away and everything, but I'm excited it's here. So let's kind of start there. When did this song come together? Because on the face of it, feels very much like it could be a quarantine themed tune. But did you have a bit of it before that or not?
You know, this one. Like, I'm gonna be like, here's the thing. Even if I'm not telling everybody what I'm up to at all times every day, I'm definitely like, if I'm just here, if I'm stuck here in fucking Dog Palace, I'm gonna, by the way, I'm a patent that, Dog Palace. Like, I'm probably gonna do creative things. You know what I mean? Like, if people leave me alone, I make shit. And so, I think low-key, honestly, okay, time very much is blurred during all of this. Today is September. That means, you know, this song was probably made in like July.
Okay.
Yeah. That sounds right.
Yeah. So, I mean, still at home, I guess is the point. Still very much in this kind of weird year we've been having. It's definitely an anthem of that time.
Very, very strange to, you know, try and navigate all that in this time. I also haven't been in the biggest hurry to put stuff out during all of this just because, I don't know, I feel like time is just working in a strange way. And like your brain does, like if you do the same thing every day, your brain doesn't retain shit as much. So it's like a lot of cool shit has come out this year that's, I feel like hasn't gotten, like a lot of like albums and stuff that haven't gotten to live like their full life that they would have. And so, yeah, I'm just not in a hurry to throw things into the void necessarily, but I feel like you also can't just wait forever. Waiting on the world to change, yeah.
It's true though. Like, what do you do? Like, everyone's in the kind of same boat at the minute. There is no necessarily right or wrong time to drop it at the minute. And this one definitely feels like, I mean, we'll come on to lyrics and stuff, but it really does feel like something that's of the moment. Like, you know, you've seen a few people drop songs that have clearly been written about this year, or at least about how they've spent this year. It definitely feels like that a bit.
Trying so hard not to do that so much because I know next week just beating people over the fucking head with quarantine songs. Like everybody's gonna be doing it. So I'm just like, you know, I could spare people one more song about it. At the same time, like you write about experiences, yet this is my experience. I'm working on a concept album called Dog Palace.
Finally, giving the people what they want.
Yeah. Every song is about a different breed.
So you're gonna say every song's about a different palace. It's the same dog going from palace to palace.
No, we all have to stay in our own palace right now.
Very true. Very true. Well, that is actually links on very, very nicely, unintentionally, to the lyric that I picked out immediately listening to this for the first time. Of course, you've got the reference to What Happens Next before. And I know you've done that before. You take the lyrics from other songs. You've always done that a little bit, referencing stuff you've done before. But this one, little twist on it as well, which I thought was quite interesting. Talk to me about throwing the twist on the end there. You're in a big house, but you're hiding.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's kind of like that line was, or that section was, it's sort of like in this, like, Watch What Happens Next is about, my/our ambitions and, the, the goals and stuff, and like being open about it, because that's not like we talked about before. That's not a thing that's super commonplace in our our end of the world, our end of the music world, and so it's kind of like not that much time has gone by since Fandom. I'm still the same. Like I feel the same as when I wrote it for the most part, but it's like just an updated version of that in this new world where it's like, I want these things. These are the things I'm working towards. But right now I'm hiding. It's like we can't do anything. There's so much going on in the world that there's not really room for that right now. You know what I mean? It's kind of like prioritizing things that matter more over like your own shit. Like things can wait. You know what I mean? It's like right now, it's like there's just so much shit going. Oh my God. I almost knocked over my Galileo thermometer. It's just crazy. Look.
Oh man, what I love about Zoom when you have backgrounds up is that things like that can just appear from nowhere. I could not see that before, dude.
Well, see, what's pretty cool, and it wasn't intentional, but I set the thing here, and I was like, I mean, I guess I could tidy up like a little bit, but then I realized when we got on, I was like, oh, you can't even fucking see. Like, I could have the messiest, shittiest place right now. Dude, I could be in a fucking Burger King right now, and nobody would know. There it is. Fucking... There, okay, dude, honestly, like when you just make shit every day, it's like it's a weird thing when you listen back, you're like, how the fuck did that go? And you're like, all right. Nice. Now everybody that's covering it can do it right.
There you go. That's the demo. There's the tutorial right there for you all at home.
Oh shit. I wasn't ready for that.
Almost had it. Musically as well, is that the kind of sound you're playing? Because it feels like, you're a pop kid. You've always said that. And like, particularly on Fandom, it was really nice to see you guys being able to balance all the sides of what you do in a big way. This is definitely on the poppier end. Do you feel like that's where you're playing at the minute and where the kind of stuff you're working on is living?
It's a tough thing because some things have been kind of in that realm, of course, and like we've talked about, yeah, I love pop, very pop oriented stuff, but I feel like I'm also doing like anything I can to mix things up these days. You know what I'm saying? Like there are some days where like a song like Lowkey As Hell gets made. Or like that'll have happened the day before, and then the next day I'm like, and I just have to make something like fucking nuts that's like borderline unlistenable, where like everything changes like every fucking measure, and you know, and it's like an interesting thing. But yeah, during this time, it's just so important to stretch those creative muscles. Otherwise, you're just gonna act like it's so easy to atrophy when everything is so like stagnant all the time. You know what I mean? It's just like it can be such a monotonous thing. That's why once a week you should go buy a new fake plant and a new light and a new lamp and switch up your environment.
It's true. I mean, the interesting thing as well has been chatting with loads of bands who are like, oh yeah, we're working on stuff, we're trying to figure stuff out. It's no mean feat to try and not force yourself to be creative, but like you say, everything's a bit the same at the minute. It's different from when you just have some normal downtime at home. It's got to be a bit of a weird vibe to try and suddenly get in writing mode again, right?
Kinda. It's here's the thing, writing isn't hard, but writing about different things isn't the easiest. You know what I mean? Like I can sit here and make a lot of instrumentals and they'll be really unique, but if you're not like, I don't want to just say the same thing over and over and over, because then I know when I eventually decide to start, you know, kind of like concocting album shit, like I'll be like, oh, all these songs are saying the same thing, and then just use one of them. You know what I mean? And that's kind of a waste. So, you know, that's the only tricky part. It's like pulling inspiration from monotony.
Yeah, no, I can imagine, man. It's definitely tough. And it's interesting you say about wanting to talk about different things and move on. What's nice about this, and I guess is one of the reasons why it's the first new thing we've heard from you guys in a while. To me, listen to it. It takes that theme of fandom that was all the way through that album, and it's like 1.5. Do you know what I mean? You've pushed it a few steps forward. Same kind of territory, but it definitely feels like you're pushed a bit forward. I mean, are we still playing in those themes of the last album? Because it does feel like that theme, but just a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? A little bit pushed forward.
Yeah, it's still partial, but I also, like, I mean, I said what I said on that album, and I don't want to be redundant. I never want to get repetitive with it. And I saw that even if I make it a focal point, it doesn't actually change things in the grand scope. So I don't see, or it doesn't feel like, I don't know. I don't feel the necessity. It's not like a necessity for me to like continue going on about that. It's really just about me and about like the last, you know, 8 months or whatever it's been since FANDOM, where, you know, everything is kind of just like it's a very big juxtaposition, like being the kind of band or that we are, or person that I am, where you kind of you're such like a I don't know, like a I don't want to use like a dumb word, but it's like a loud presence. You know what I mean? Like, you know, being, you know, who I am, or like doing what we do with the band, and like who I am like on stage and with everything. Like it's all me, but again, it's just like part of it. Because then, and it's funny, I was actually just like kind of going over this stuff with like in our bio about all of it, but so thank God I've got like borderline preparation with this. But but then at the same time, like, you know, when I get off stage and I get to put my phone down and shit, I like to just go home, ignore the shit out of everybody, just like be alone, right? Like kind of, you know, just do my own thing. And so a lot of the themes of the song kind of go back and forth between those, like the you know, the highs and lows of that, like just who I am.
It makes sense, man. It's definitely, I mean, you guys have always talked about, you know, your own experiences and all that kind of thing. And it's kind of an open book in terms of the music, which makes a lot of sense to me. It definitely feels like a starting point in the way that Turbulent was a starting point last time around. It's like, this is my state of mind right now. We're going to do this, and then we're going to go on to the bigger thing. Am I right in that?
Probably.
Yeah.
Because I think an album, you know, will probably happen again. But I'm just not in a hurry for it, because I don't want to just like slam people immediately with content, because, you know, like I said, the writing never stops. Technically, I've got a million fucking things, but I like whatever, you know, body of work comes out in the future, it needs to be better. It needs to be better than FANDOM. And if I feel like it's not, if there's any doubt, it's not going to happen. Like, there is not a scenario in which I put out something and like, it's like a lesser version of something that's already happened. If it doesn't beat it, it doesn't happen. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get that totally. I mean, that's always something you want as an artist, isn't it? To just keep progressing and keep trying new things. It's something we can see through what you guys have done already. So yeah, it makes sense you'd want to continue that train, right?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like, with experience, like, you just, I mean, theoretically, you should just improve. Like if I go and listen back on like older music, or even like Double Dare, like our first full album. Dude,
There it is.
When we tour, I can't have spicy food, and so since we've been here, I've just been like killing myself with it. And caffeine also, because I can't have caffeine on tour. I'm up to like 6 shots a day of like espresso. I'm killing it. But
mate, that's no. 6 espressos a day, dude.
Here's the thing. So far, I've had 4. And late in the afternoon, I'm gonna have 2 more. Not too much, because then I'll be up at 3 like, fuck, but...
I'd be climbing the walls, man.
Yeah, but, dude, there's this spot that I found, and it's just, they put so much caffeine in it. I'm just like, do it. Fucking do it. Okay, sorry. What were we just saying?
We were just saying about progression and how, like, even looking back at Double Dare, you can see you were trying to do those things.
Yeah, so, like, vocal performance wise, like, you're gonna hear like when we get to tour and do all this stuff, like I become a better singer just, you know, through practice. Like you learn stuff, like you kind of get more comfortable with, you know, this as an instrument, and you know, and like musically you just learn more things. Like, it's, I think when people get complacent, that's when they start making albums that don't surpass the things, you know, or like they stop being innovative or progressing, and they're just like, you know what, this is what people like. Like, people like when we do this. Let's just like stay around here until the 10-year tours start, you know, rolling through. And I mean, we've talked about this. Like, I wouldn't let that, like, no shade to anybody, but that's not what I would ever want for us. So if we don't beat an album, like, as a full body of work, it won't come out.
It's fair enough, and that's the kind of thing that's going to spur you on as well, though, isn't it? It's not done until it's done. It's not done until we've reached that level. It's good to have something to actually aim for in that way.
Yeah, because I mean, like, because in theory, like, just based on like the quantity of unreleased music, like, in theory, we could probably drop about like 8 albums today. It's just a thing, but here's the deal, though. If it, as like a cohesive piece of work, if it doesn't beat everything, because when you put out a release, you're not just like, is it as good? You also, like, it's already an uphill battle, especially the more you build on it. It's kind of like when you have your first album, you have to climb, like, and here's the album, you have to climb that mountain when you're making your second album. So then it goes up to here. Now, I wish I had a third hand, but I don't. But here's the thing. So here's both your albums, right? When you're making your third one, you have to climb even higher and go up all of them. You see, so by the time you get to there, like, you're working against like a mountain that you've built. And it's not even just objectively about the music or the songs or whatever. People have emotional ties to it. They've, you know, there's a lot of sentimental value in it. So it's like, you not only have to beat what you've done, you have to beat everybody's intangible feelings about it. So if it's not undeniably just like, oh, fuck, I'm not going to chance that.
I get that. And that's not, you know, not a bad attitude to have, because like I say, it means that you keep striving. That's what's putting the fire under you, right? That's what's going to actually make it work. There we go. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. In terms of that, though, in terms of, we now have this new piece of music out there, of course, do we see this as being the start of the next era, or is this? Or do we view this as something standalone and different?
Do I have to answer that?
I mean, you can answer it however you want.
You know, I'm gonna light this sage. It's hard to say. You know, I don't want to put too much. It's hard because you don't want to overemphasize or put too much pressure on, you know, anything that you're putting out, because then you're just like building an even higher thing for it to climb. It's good energy for everybody watching. You're going to have a good...
Out of your computer and phone screens, out into the world.
Yeah. It smells so good. You know, we'll just let this song be what it is.
That's fine. That's an answer, and that makes perfect sense. And I think that's actually the way that...
But I said words, and so it counts!
It definitely counts. But that's the way that loads of bands are going now as well anyway, is just like, let's let that song breathe. It doesn't have to be attached to anything necessarily. Let's just let it out there and see what happens. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes sense. I think that's not a bad way to be at all. Oh, go on.
John is texting me right now, and it keeps coming at the top of the screen because Canon was talking to him about the picture, like the album art, the single art that he shot. They were like, "Oh, this is so good," and they may have made an easy to hate pun, which is crazy. I'm stoked. That means he took a good picture.
Very exciting, man. Very exciting.
It's funny, when we were shooting that single art, very first thing we did, we all met like with like multiple masks on and stuff. We all met at the clinic to get tested. Because that's the thing, is like we're not gonna like risk anything, but we all got the rapid COVID tests, and so we were all just kind of like hanging out in the parking lot with the masks on, like sort of away, like, you know, the 6 feet kind of thing away from each other, just sort of like around my car. And you know, they all had their luggage and shit with them too, because you know, we were like, okay, let's fucking hope, like, you know, everybody's just as careful as possible. But I eventually called and was like, hey, just wanted to check, you know, this is Awsten Knight, just did the test thing. And they were like, let's see. Okay, oh, yours is negative. And I was like, I was on speaker. We're all looking at each other like we were like, holy shit. Like the way they said that, we're like, oh no, we're not gonna be able to do this. But then everybody got their calls. We're all good. But
yours is negative. Oh, you don't need to work.
I was just like, oh shit. I was like, we're fucked.
So was this like yourself, John, and then obviously Geoff and Otto? Was it like the whole crew? Was that the first time you guys have actually been able to get together again? I take it, probably, right? Yeah. Man, that's so crazy. So like over the last few months, has it been particularly putting together the tracks and everything? How have you communicated with them in that way?
Otto had to record drums, so we did a thing like that. Again, we did the COVID tests and all that, but yeah, like he came out to record drums, left like immediately, and it's been such a strange thing trying to get anything like that done. But thanks to the miracles of modern technology, we can.
Very true, man. Yeah, it's got to be so odd when you live under each other like for so long and like for most of your year, and then suddenly, you know, just through no fault of your own, it's kind of weird.
Sleeps below me on the bus. John sleeps above me.
Wild, absolutely wild. But there we go. At least you're able to be back together when you need to be now. That's something, man. As we progress. Other things I want to talk to you about as well. We did one of these with your boy Dwayne a few weeks back. I think he is making such exciting stuff, man. Really, really exciting sounds coming out of that.
I've known he was gonna do it. Like as soon as I fucking saw the show, I was just like, "Yep, there it is." Like. When I first met him, I was like, I love him. He's so nice. We're both like we both grew up in Houston and somehow ended up on the same management in LA. Like that's so cool. And like seeing the show was just like, God damn, like this is gonna be so cool. And now the songs are like happening, and man, they are so good.
They're really sick, what we've heard. And he said to us during this call that you worked on something. You're not sure where it's going to live or when it might happen. But
Yeah.
what was that? I mean, obviously, he was saying it's come out absolutely amazing and that you're rapping on it as well. Give me a little taste of this. Like, how did that track come together?
I mean, okay, so I made this beat. That was pretty cool. It was real wild. Like, I just layered up like a million synths and like all these keyboards and stuff. And I wanted to have like I wanted to have a part where there's like a glass breaking sound, but I couldn't find like a great one online. And so actually I got my phone, set it on voice memo, and I took a glass, I went in my bathroom and just fucking, and so that's in the song. Like a part of the beat, it's like that kind of thing. It's so cool. But then I hit Dwayne, because like sometimes like we can like being a musician just in general can be frustrating in some ways, and so we talk about that kind of thing sometimes. And we both were just having a time where like we had just had like some like just bitching, we're just bitching to each other about stuff. And with this song, I'd been like writing these lyrics, and I was like, this would be fucking cool. We were just talking about this. Like, I know we don't do features that often, or very often at all. We've never done one like on an album or anything, but this would be so like just very cool to have. And so I was like, hey, I'm making a song about this thing we were just talking about. Do you want to do it? And he's like, please, yes. And he had just gotten home recording stuff. Like he had like a setup where he lived, and dude, oh man, he just got a place too. Like it's so cool. I need to go over there at some point, but it's got like a trampoline and like an orange tree. It's like cool. I've been there one other time. Like it's completely by chance, but it's so nice. Yeah, anyway, we made the song. And then on his part, I was like, it needs to switch up. So I was putting in like some orchestral shit over it too. So like it still sounds like really hard, but just throwing in like some violins and cellos and pianos and shit on it just made it really cool. It's gonna come out somehow. I don't know how just yet, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, no, it's exciting to hear, man. It's always nice to see when, like I said, because I remember watching him support you guys on tour over here in the UK, and that show was just absolutely outrageous. And here you guys actually working on stuff together is really exciting. I look forward to hearing that whenever it may come. And speaking, go on.
First time I met him, we were working on a song. Like I came in because him and this producer guy we used to work with, they were making something, and they were like, hey, and I was just like out doing like writing stuff with people. And this is like before I lived in LA. This is like 2017. That's when I met him. And they're like, hey, do you want to come in and like work on this? And I was like, yeah, as long as he's okay with it. Cause it's such like to me, it's like such a precious thing, like to like let people come in. Cause it can be really weird. Like my friend Joe, you probably know him from Patent Pending.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, he does a ton of country co-writes. That's like his jam. And he's got some stuff going on. I'm really excited for him to start rolling out. But I don't know what I can and can't say about that. But either way, he's a fucking boy. And so he does mainly like country co-writes. And he's like, dude, it's the weirdest thing to walk in and be like, now tell me all your personal shit. What do you want to talk about? What's some crazy shit you're going through right now? I'm a stranger. Tell me it. You know what I mean? It's like that. And it's like you want to be so delicate. You don't want to feel like you're invading anyone's shit, especially if you don't know them. But he was just like so welcoming and cool about it. And so it was nice. You know what I mean? And he's just like so good as a person that I just immediately was like, I love him. I would die for him.
It's awesome, man. It's going to be a very, very cool collab when that appears, man. I'm excited to hear it, really am. The other thing that I have to ask you about, which we kind of talked a bit about last time, but I know you guys obviously filmed one of the gigs when you were over here, and I know schedules are all over the shop, right? But I know you guys were talking about trying to get it edited and all that kind of thing. Is there any update there, or are we still in kind of understandable schedule nightmares and all that kind of thing?
Right after this, literally right after this, I'm driving over to the offices to pick up the test pressing of it. for me to watch and approve, make sure there are no issues. Then it goes into production. I finished all the album, finished all the packaging. That's all done. So I just have to watch this, give the thumbs up, and it's go time.
We're getting there. We're getting there. That's exciting, man. I know a lot of people are very excited, especially when, you know, there's no gigs at the minute. So it's definitely cool to have an artifact like that, right?
Yeah, and it's so cool. It was like 5 months of work, but you know, John killed it, and you know, I want to start putting stuff out from that. It's weird. I've never leaked a video.
Yeah, just how's that going to work? You gotta go Insta Live and just hold it up to your TV screen or something.
Maybe, but fuck. See, that's the problem because with a song, it's kind of different because I can just be like, here's this. You'll get the real one maybe at some point, but here you go. Fuck it. That's how people listen to shitty audio all the time anyway. They rip songs I guess they don't as much as streaming now, but like YouTube and shit just murders quality. So they kind of listen to bullshit anyway. So that's why I'm not as worried about when they hear it on a stream. I'm just like, here you go. That's how you listen to it fucking no matter what. So who cares? But with a video, with this kind of thing, dude, it's like 4K. Like we're talking about like Blu-ray and shit, just making sure it's just like the craziest quality. And like, I wouldn't want that or any of the details. There's a lot of little details in it. I wouldn't want like, cause you know, we put so much care into there are parts where it's like 1 second took him like 5 hours to edit. Like it's crazy shit. So I would hate for that to be lost by me just being like, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. You want to give it its proper dues in that way, right?
Right. It's kind of like the dude, whoever the fuck made Interstellar. Did you hear about the process for that movie?
In terms of how they shot it and stuff?
Yeah, and like how they made it. Like, dude, there are certain parts that it took them like a month to just like process a part or some crazy shit. I forgot the details, but that guy would never be like, here's the clip. Not to put our DVD on the same level as Interstellar. John would be really mad if I did that. But it's very fucking tight. No pressure. But yeah, I mean, I feel like for the quality and the detail, I probably shouldn't do it.
Yeah, you want people to be hit with it in the way that it's intended. Of course you do.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense, man. It makes sense. Austin, it's always great to chat to you, man. I'll leave you with this, really. Let's circle it back to this track because by the time people see, I think we're going to put this out on Monday, which is a couple of days' time. So people have had some time over the weekend to live with this track. I'm curious, because normally when we talk around an album or something, we can talk about what you hope the fans kind of take away from it, what you hope you're putting out there in the world. Just for this track then, what do you hope the fans kind of take away from this as a moment for Waterparks?
I think the most people could take away from it really is just further understanding, kind of like what is going on, where I have been, you know, the chorus part of it is like kind of for them. And you know, I think it's something that, I mean, you know, if I get, you know, these messages every day, like, please give us something, give us this, like, or like I've got people that are like, I've had a really shitty time this week. Dude, like, give me this, like, whatever it is. I feel like this is just kind of what those people, and hopefully people beyond that, sort of need right now.
Austin, man, the track's great. All the best to you. All the best to the lads. We look forward to seeing you in the UK whenever that is possible, hopefully sooner rather than later. But all the best to you in the meantime. All right, man?
Thank you very much. By the way, I've been making flyers just for the fuck of it because it's fun. And oh my God, when I finally get to use them for something, they're going to look so cool.
Exciting. We look forward to seeing them, man. Awsten Knight, everybody.